Natasha Ramsahai, Chief Meteorologist at CityNews 680. Natasha, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Quebec experiencing a lot of damages because of this ice storm, trees fallen everywhere. A lot of people in the province no longer have power, and it's going to maybe take several days in order for people to get power. Now, explain a little bit about this phenomenon in terms of weather. What happened here?
Yeah, so this was a Colorado low that came in. And the thing is, it has a lot of warm air that it was trying to shove towards the region, but we already had a lot of cold air sitting in place. And as we know from basic science, the cold air is more dense and it hugs the ground. So when the warm air tries to get in, it overrides. And so you've got this layer of warm air on top of cold air for a prolonged period of time. It takes a lot for that to start mixing out and then switching over to rain. And that's why we saw all of the freezing rain for a prolonged period of time because of that layering in the atmosphere that was happening. We know with this storm, about 35 millimeters of ice accretion was found across the city of Montreal.
And of course, when people think of ice storms, in Quebec, the first thing they think of is the, ice storm of 1998. Now we're thinking this is April. This should be the time when things are warming up, but now we're getting an ice storm. Is it comparable to back to 1998? And also, is this normal for April?
Let me explain what happened in 1998. That was a completely different kind of setup. So the ice storm from last night into today, that was a Colorado low. It came in, yes, it lasted numerous hours, but it also pushed out. What happened back in 1998 was a setup where we had a stationary stalled system, a system that came in and parked itself over the region. It didn't move. And that meant it was almost like train tracks, the stationary front, and low pressure systems just kept coming in one after the other over the same area. The air mass didn't change.
Okay. And when it comes to weather in Montreal for, the next few days, today is warmer. And I think that's what kind of saved us from getting worse temperatures. So what can we expect now?
What we're looking at over the next couple of days, well, we may see some flurries tonight into tomorrow morning. Montreal, just like Southern Ontario, just like Ottawa, the Ottawa Valley, and a good chunk of Eastern Canada is in for a warm-up. So we're going to be going from this freezing rain cleanup and severe damage and power outages to possibly the first 20-degree days of the year coming next week. And it's looking to be a prolonged warm spell as well. So Easter weekend is going to be fairly sunny, but close to seasonal. But as we hit Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, prepare for 19, 20, 22, and possibly even warmer degrees. It's going to be a prolonged warm stretch here, feeling like late spring and possibly early summer.
Okay. Thank you so much, Natasha. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Next on City News.